Hey everyone, Fabian, Empire Build Academy, doing a quick video that goes alongside the video I did at the weekend. I was talking about losing stamina really quickly and making sure that you're not joining monster rallies that are of no benefit. But I also got some comments back on that, and that's what this video is, how to join monster rallies on Evony correctly. It's one of those things that in the past I knew there was something I was doing wrong, never really looked into it, but then I got a comment which I'm just going to jump across to right now, which came from the Bowery King. Now, the Bowery King actually have their own YouTube channel, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, but this is what they said. You're killing me at 224. You have joined with one soldier. Please, for the love of all that is Evony, work on getting the only rally join combo that makes sense. Get Sanada or Spartacus from the tavern, whichever one comes up first. Goal is 6 copies of either or as your lead general for rally joining, and most importantly, you get them to Orange Star 3, which we'll get to in a minute. Then you also need 6 copies of the Nathanael Greene as the assistant to them, and then this combo, depending on who you've got as your lead, will give you a 30% reduction on stamina. If you're not running this combo, you are wasting stamina. Again, this combo primary goal is to save stamina on every monster. Without stamina, the amount of luck and march speed means 0 because you can't join a rally. Maximize your stamina management and your development items, RSS, Runestone, Blood of Ares, and other monster drop items. The inventory for this will also increase. So let's go and jump over to the game first before I share the Bowery King's YouTube channel. But this is what they are talking about. And basically we are going into the tavern. We're going into recruit. We're just clicking on that historic general there. Make sure you've got that ticked. And then literally you can see I've just recently got a Nathanael Greene because I've already been doing this. Just going to keep clicking on refresh until we find those people, which again I will mention and put in the comments as to who you are looking for. So I'm just going to keep going until I get one of the said people. Remember, it's the first one that pops up. So you can see here, Spartacus has popped up. This one increases march speed by 75% towards monsters. And then when we take a look at the general and their breakdown, you can see again what they was talking about in reference to the stamina cost reduction, as well as double item drops, and again, more stamina reduction. So that is who I would use as a lead, Spartacus. I can show you the other ones that I also have as well. You can see that if I go into my duty generals, and you can see now Sanada, this is the other guy. So it's Sanada or Spartacus. And you can also see that I've got them to that 3 orange star that was also mentioned. So you can now see when I click onto this, all of those 3 are now unlocked. I'm now going to get that stamina reduction, and I'm also going to get that double items drop rate from monsters. When then adding this as a rally combination, I do use auto join. So that is what I'm going to go to right now. Click on auto join, select a preset. I did have them set up before, but I didn't know what I was doing. So we will set it up on this number 1 first with the 3-star Yukimyura. Now, in order for me to add Nathanael Greene, I will need to get his level up. And you can see now that I've got him to level 20. That now opens up the assistant where I can add Nathanael Greene into this as well. Let's get any Nathanael Greene, place them in there. I only want to join with 1 troop. Everything is correct on that. Save that as a preset. I will save it as the dragon to coincide with monster hunting. Click on save, and then you can see that I can actually select which ones I want to use and which ones I don't. So now I've only done the 1. I will click on confirm. I've got all this set up again, going alongside what I said at the weekend and what to join and what not to join. Do make sure that you've got the new monster attached to this. Click on start. That is now enabled. So now when I'm joining these rallies, it will be joining with that preset that I've done. Let's now do a second one, and let's do this from the start so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So again, we're back in development, but this time I'm going to go into one that I haven't done. So let's do this Sanada Yukimyura here. Remember, we need him at level 20 so that he can have an additional assistant joining in the march. So that is now done. The next thing that I would need to do is now take him up those levels. So I've got to go into enhance. We've got to go through these first few stars at the beginning, which is nice and simple. And then you can see we now need to do the ascensions. So that is what I'm about to do, but I'm not going to have enough to go to 3-star, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's continue ascending. Let's say don't show this again, and continue. That's the first one done there. You're going to see I need more to go again, and this is all to take him just to that 1-star level. So again, I will take him all the way to the 1-star, and then you will see that I do need more because this is 14 fragments to take him just to that 1-star. And you can see now the next ones are going to cost 8, so I'd only have enough to go to 1-star 0.2, if that makes sense, which is what I've done there. So now I need to break down some copies of Sanada, which I've got a few of, so I'll do that that with this one here. I will go to this option here and break him down, and then I will dismiss perfectly so that I get these 30 fragments here. So let's do that now. Let's dismiss. And again, you can appreciate I'm going to need quite a few copies of Sanada. I don't have any more. So I would need to go back into the tavern to go and get those additional copies of Sanada, which is what I will do now off the video. And you can see I've now got Spartacus. It's Sanada that I want for the copies. I will still need copies of Spartacus that I need to break down. So I will purchase this one for the 10 million gold. And you can see I've now got another Spartacus that I'll also purchase ready for breaking down, so I'll get them fragments. And this is another copy of Sanada that I'm going to need. I'm going to need quite a lot of copies to break down those fragments, especially as I go towards the third orange star when it gets more expensive. And then I'm going to go and check exactly where I'm at with the ascension level. So let's recruit him. Now let's go back over to the generals that I now have. You can see all these different ones here. I'm going to break down all the Sanada ones, doing that same thing again, going to that red icon at the top, dismissing perfectly for 10,000 gems. And let's go back into the next Sanada. Let's dismiss again. And let's now have a look where we are with this Sanada, which we were doing, which was this one. So let's go back into Enhance. You can see we're continuing from where we left off. And now I have 153 fragments because I've broken those ones down where I got him from the tavern. Let's continue to ascend. You can see that it's costing 4 each time that I'm doing this. And then on the final one to take it to the next star level, it is more expensive. You can see it's now 14. So let's do that. Here's now 2 star. Let's see if we have enough to go all the way to 3 star. This is costing me 8 each time, which the last one cost 28. So do be aware of that. This is now taking it to 2 star, and this isn't going to be enough to go to 3 star. So I will need to continue doing that. And then once I've got it to the 3rd star, that would be it. Then I would be able to use this particular general to go back into that auto hunt feature via here, the Alliance War auto join. Remember, this is only a feature that costs £10 a month if you want to purchase this. This is the only pack that I now purchase. It's the one that allows me to join all the different monster rallies, getting all those rewards that are killed by the bigger boss members. And out of all the packs that Evony sell, this is definitely the one I recommend the most. So let's go back into select a preset. This time you can see number 1 is already done, so we're happy with that. Let's go to number 2. Let's change this to our 2-star Sanada. And actually, I just want to make out a point here. When I was doing this before, I noticed that I wasn't joining rallies, and I think the reason being is because I was adding this particular Sanada as an example. I was adding this guy to the different rallies. So when he'd gone to the first one, the second one wasn't adding, the third one wasn't adding. That is my guess. It's only a guess as to why I wasn't joining all the rallies. It was one of those things that I noticed from doing this before. That's kind of why I went away from it and decided to just stay clear. But now, with that information that we've got, I'm now a lot more clearer as to why it wasn't working, and now feel very confident that this will now happen. So I'm going to add the 2-star one, not the 3-star. So do whatever you need. You can even use the levels if you wanted. So he's level 20. This guy's level 14. I could have the next one for level 15 to make sure add in the correct ones. And the same with the Nathanael Greene as well. We want to make sure that you're adding the individual Nathanael Greenes and you're not duplicating them into a rally. So let's go to this 2-star. Let's add him. You can see he's level 14, which means I need to take him up to level 20 to be able to be the next rally setter, which is what I'll do now. And all we need to do is just go into this, find the 2-star that we're looking for, which is this guy. Then we're going to go into the experience. So it's this one here that needs to be level 20. Click on that and then use your EXP that you've got. And again, you can see we can just upgrade nice and quickly all the way to level 20. And now that's done, I can go back to that same auto join feature. Once in here, I want to select preset. I was doing it on number 2. I do need to select Sanada again, so that is him now selected. And now you can see I can add an additional Nathanael Greene. Now the first one I added was level 22, so this time I'm going to add the level 20 Nathanael Greene. 1 troop joining, all correct. Save preset. Again, let's use that monster icon to save it, and this time we can confirm that I'm adding 1 and number 2 rally, because that is now done. I've got 4 more to do, so that is now done. Now when I go into select a preset, let's just make sure we've got everything correct. So I've got a level 20 and a level 20, and you can see there actually I didn't have them right, so I'm going to go and correct that right now. So let's go back into the preset, but this time let's choose number 2, the 22 version, which hasn't been selected. Let's click save on that. Let's click click save on the icon and confirm for that. So now when I go back into those presets, I've got a 20 and a 20, and I've got a 20 and a 22. Now the 21 we know was right because he was the 2-star general, and when we click on that you can see that I've got the right one. So that's the only other additional thing to be aware of, is making sure that you're not duplicating a general that's already in preset 1 in preset 4, for argument's sake, or like I did with this one, preset 2. So once you've done that, that is it. That's all you need to do. And then you can click on icon to say select a preset. So now it's going to join with those level 1s and level 2s. And what I'm going to do now, not on video now, is do exactly the same process all those other 4. And remember, it's whichever ones pop out first. So Sanada or Spartacus, whichever one ones pop out first, both going to be fine for leading the rally attack in the preset. Only join with one troop. Make sure that you're only selecting one troop to join. And then of course, making sure that a Nathanael Greene is attached as an assistant, all of those 6 different presets. So what I want to do now is just jump back over to where I got this information from. And what I want to do now is just share with you where I got this information from. This was from the Bowery King, so I do thank him for reaching out and letting me know that I was doing this wrong, which also in turn allowed me to do this video for you guys as well. So what I will say is definitely go and check out the Bowery King. They've got 71 videos themselves, 1,470 subscribers, and of course this kind of content is only going to be helpful for all of us. So this is a channel I'm sharing. There's plenty of other ones out there as well. Genghis Khan, Theria Games, Red Evony. There's plenty of them out there. Baby Bear Sings, I think, as well, I think is another one. So do go and check them all out. But in reference to this particular video, the information I've used and the information I'm sharing all came from the Bowery King. If there's anything you don't understand, please do let me know in the comments. As always, I will add this to empirebuildacademy.com, and I will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.